does it work?
I don't. I'll have the EMS guy behind you. I have Chief Parker behind me to give you that information. But what we have preliminary right now, the investigation seems as though the truck veered into the school bus's lane and struck the school bus. As I said, a result of that was one child being deceased. Several were flown out. The EMS chief behind me will be able to give you those information on how many were taken to the hospital and possibly where they were taken. Yeah, and we're still early in the investigation, but apparently as soon as they finish up, if there's charges we file, I'll be able to give you that information later.
What time did this happen?
So this happened at actually 1:59 p.m. As I said, the school bus was traveling to a school event, actually a field trip, when the vehicle traveled into the school bus's lane and struck the school bus.
So the bus was traveling west and the...
Could you repeat the first part again? I apologize.
Sure. This afternoon about 1:59 p.m. the school bus was traveling west on 21. It was struck by a concrete truck traveling the other direction. As a result of the crash, one child in the school bus was reported deceased, and a vehicle following the school bus was also a male who was reported deceased.
Do you have a number on serious injury?
I'll be able to get that from Chief Parker in just a second.
You know if the driver had a single truck or some influence of anything?
We had no indication at this time of the driver's impaired.
What about distracted driving, texting?
Anything's possible at the time. It's still preliminary, so we'll find that as the investigation goes on.
How common is an accident? How common is an accident involving this many people, and what are the challenges when investigating and certainly, getting the roads back open when something like this happens?
I think the big challenge is the road. It's a busy road, and we have a large number of people that were involved in the crash. So we had to go through and identify each one of the children, notify parents. The school had to be notified. So shutting down the road was an absolute necessity. It'll be shut down for several more hours as they continue the investigation.
They were coming back from the Bastrop Zoo, right?
They were on a field trip.
Yeah. Were they coming back from the zoo, or were they on their way to the
I can
zoo?
just tell you that they were on a field trip.
But is it also rare for something like this to involve so many people?
I have had other instances where there were school buses struck, but this is a large number of kids. Unfortunately, we're all gathered together with 11 adults who were there as chaperones. And unfortunately, it happened at this location, which is a busy highway in Bastrop County.
For DPS, and I know school administrators have been on scene, or at least we're told that, involving this many children, it's got to be difficult.
It's difficult. It's something we actually do for a living, but it's difficult when you find children this young that are involved in the crash, especially when there's a deceased or major injury. So yes, it is difficult, but the school came out, they took care of the children, they reunified the children with the family members, and as you can see, we're finishing up on moving some of the vehicles at the crash site.
Are you able to share that age information?
I don't have the age. So, any other questions involving transportation or EMS? I have the Chief Parker from EMS will be able to answer those questions.
Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Parker. I'm a Division Chief for Austin Travis County EMS. I'll take any questions that y'all have.
What's the age of the two deceased?
I can only tell you that it was one adult male and one child who was a male gender. I can tell you that we evaluated 53 total patients. 2 of them, as we spoke of, were deceased. 4 of them were transported in critical condition via helicopter. 6 went via ground that had potentially serious injuries, and the remainder had minor injuries that were transported either by ground, or some of them also did not require transport and were moved to the reunification center established by the school district.
Did you triage here?
Yes, we did an on-scene triage and continuous triage as we were getting units available to move those victims. Yes, we did activate the ambulance from Austin Travis County EMS, and we transported approximately 10 patients to a children's hospital that were of minor injuries.
How many hospitals are involved, and how, it's kind of the same question, but more on the EMS side. How much coordination does it take when you have an accident involving this many people? How do you get it done?
It's a lot of coordination. It has involved approximately 9 EMS agencies. We are very near the county line. It requested a mutual aid request from Austin Travis County EMS. We sent 5 ambulances, 2 commanders, and 2 chiefs to the scene, along with multiple other agencies that provided mutual aid. We worked with the Capital Area Trauma Regional Advisory Council to coordinate disbursement of those patients to the hospitals so that we didn't overload the closest hospitals and those patients were able to get adequate care at the facilities we took them to.
How much time between the accident and where they lifted out of here?
I don't have that information in front of me right now.
Was the child who was killed on the school bus?
I believe so, yes.
Was
Yes.
the bus equipped with seatbelts?
I do not have that information.
And was this a rollover accident? Did the bus actually flip over? Do we know that?
I would let the law enforcement investigation provide you those details.
Can you go back and do the chain of events? Who hit who first, then
Right. Based on the investigation so far, the school bus is traveling westbound on 21. Concrete truck is traveling in the other direction and veered into the lane of the school bus. The school bus is currently turned over on its side. I can't tell you if it rolled over, but it is on its side.
so then how did that vehicle behind it?
I believe it ran into either the back of the school bus or maybe even possibly part of the concrete truck. It was a result of that third crash or that second crash of the vehicle behind the school. That driver is pronounced deceased.
Does DPS know if there were seatbelts on the bus?
I haven't looked into the crash investigators. We actually have the state crash team actually on the scene, and they will make all those decisions on what's in the bus. I have not been in the bus.
Is that right? We don't know if there's seatbelts?
I can't tell you whether or not there's at this time. I haven't been inside the bus.
I apologize. You said the concrete truck veered into the other lane?
It appears that the concrete truck that was traveling this direction veered into the front of the bus,
And then the passenger vehicle slammed into the
into
bus.
the back of one of those two vehicles. We only have one in the cement truck and one male in the black Charger that was hauling the bus. The male was found deceased.
You ran the signature for the
That's part of the investigation that's ongoing.
Is
I have no reason to believe he hasn't. I haven't heard anything otherwise.
Is
Not a-
anyone
he didn't get
here
taken to the
able to give Spanish sound for our Telemundo team?
I cannot, unfortunately.
The guy in the concrete truck, he didn't get taken to the hospital?
I don't know that yet, but they did speak to him before whether he was moved, but he's no longer on the scene.
Any idea the speed they were going?
No, not at this time. They'll reconstruct it and they'll be able to tell you how fast each
How long is
vehicle
that
is
going to take?
It may take several weeks until they finish the conclusion of the actual reconstruction.
The four critical are they students?
I don't have a breakdown. The question was, are the 4 critical patients students of the school district? I do not have the breakdown of the age or gender of the 4 critical patients.
Do you have the gender of the student?
It was a man.
But they were in the bus. The 4 are in critical condition.
I do not have the information about what vehicles those 4 critical patients were in.
Chief, give us your name and information you want for that.
Sure. Division Chief Kevin Parker, Kevin Parker. I'm with Austin Travis County EMS.
And to DPS, what are you asking the public right now, motorists living in this area? How much longer do they need to avoid this highway?
So I anticipate the road should be closed for at least another hour or two. I would check our Facebook or our Twitter site, or also check with the TxDOT or the county. But it'll take as long as it takes them to get all the evidence needed to reconstruct the crash. Anything else? Question? Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Those of you that have my email address, if you email me, I get additional information later tonight or tomorrow. I'll send out whenever I got it.
Thank you.
I'll get you one.
The cement truck.
And then what is this?
Another vehicle.
Yeah, they told us an hour. I was the bathroom, you're right.
Wow.
Yeah, where the
Exactly.
bathroom.